Hello, lovely people, Fiona here. Welcome back to my channel. Finally, Fiona, where I share my life as a mom, as a wife, and as a business owner who is trying to keep her house in order, guys, while successfully securing the bag, and here to show other women how you can too. One of the questions that I get the most is, girl, how do you work from home? How do you balance it all? How do you do it? And more specifically, how do you work from home with a baby? So, if you are self-employed, running a business, a freelancer, or just having to work from home for whatever reason, this video is for you. And if you are a mother who is trying to find out how in the world to get ish done work-wise when you have a baby, this video is for you too. So let's jump straight into how to successfully work from home as well as with a baby. Tip number one is to set up your workspace. Guys, trust me, the temptation to work from your sofa, to work from your bed can be so real, but these are not places that will allow you to be your most productive self. So what you want to do is you want to find a space in your home that you can designate to working from. This is ideally a place that you can make clutter-free, where you have access to a table and a chair, your absolute necessities, and also a place that is well lit so that you feel like you have access to daylight. I personally like to spruce up my workspace environment with things like a candle, maybe some background music if I know that I can work with music in the background. And I also like to have things like a frame with a motivational quote on it or a photo of my family to brighten up my day. But ideally, other than those things, it is a clutter-free zone. Tip number two is to establish a routine. Just like if you were going into the office, you need to know some really important times. You need to know what time to wake up to make it into work on time, what time you need to catch a train or your bus, or to leave the house if you're driving. So I personally like to ensure that I know my 4 key times. And that is the time that I need to wake up, the time that I'm going to start my day, the time that I'm going to have lunch, and the time that my workday is going to finish. On top of this, I also like to have a morning routine. So I get very clear on the things that I like to do between the time when I wake up and the time when my actual workday starts. So getting clear on a routine will give you some structure and will also ensure that you're not just waking up literally a few minutes before your workday is supposed to start feeling really flustered because you didn't have time to get ready. Which leads me on to tip number 3, get dressed for work, aka casual Friday vibes. Now I've been working from home for a while now, and I can tell you there is a huge difference between working in your pajamas or in just, your glad rags versus getting dressed, having a shower, and putting something decent on. But just making that effort in the morning so that you feel good, you feel fresh, and you're more ready to have a productive day. Tip number 4 is to prioritize. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but I have a top 3. That is, every day I have 3 main things that I am working towards achieving. I might have a list of more things, but I must get these 3 main things done to give me that sense of fulfillment and know that I have had a productive day. So I will typically set these 3 things the day before. It takes me a couple of minutes, or the morning of, but I will set them before my workday starts. This is so important for me, especially as a mom, because the truth is when working with a baby, I get less work done than I would if I weren't. So having these top 3 things that I prioritize and ensure that I start working on from the start of the day really does help me out to ensure that I'm doing the most important things. Tip number 5 is to take regular work breaks away from your workspace area. So important, especially for lunch. This is important for your physical well-being, for your mental well-being. You need to have a break and you will be better for it. I personally have an app that tells me when to take a break. I take a break for 5 to 10 minutes every hour, just as I would do if I were in a work building or an office. So important. Stretch, go for a walk, call your partner or one of your friends and catch up. Ensure that the break is short, but do make sure that you take it. Tip number 6 is to connect with your community. Working from home can be so lonely, and having a community of people who are in the same boat as you can make the world of a difference. So have e-lunches, have Skype calls, Zoom calls, video conferencing calls, find out what's going on in someone else's business, share what you're currently working on. If you are working from home because your company needs you to work from home for a period of time, still schedule calls with your colleagues just so you don't feel like you are alone, because the truth is you don't have to be. Next up guys, get you some fresh air. It is so easy to develop cabin fever or to even feel quite lonely if you don't step out and get some of that good fresh air. If you're a mum, this is also a great opportunity to switch things up a little bit for your little one. Go out for a 5-minute walk. I'm so sure they will appreciate it, and just get yourself out there because being indoors can be very, very suffocating. Now the final tips that I'm going to be sharing are more focused on women that are working from home with a baby. My daughter is now 1, and I can say that as much as I don't get as much work done as I would if she weren't at home, I still have really productive days. So here are some of my tips. First and foremost, just as I mentioned earlier, establish a routine. Be mindful of when your child is typically sleepy, typically hungry, and on a day-to-day basis, be ready at those times to facilitate their needs. This will help you because it will mean a baby that is not, really overtired or really, really cranky, because you are already prepared with what you know that they need at a given time, which will mean that you can probably get more work done because they won't be as frustrated, again, because their needs are being met. Number 2 is to meal prep, or in my case, to bulk cook. Game changer. Game changer. If you follow me again on Instagram, every Saturday I'm in the kitchen for 2 hours preparing the entire family's food for the week. That means I do not cook during the week. If you are cooking during the week, you'll probably find that you are losing precious work time, and so bulk cooking is something to help you save time that you could otherwise spend working. And last but not least, and probably the most important thing that helps me to still be productive and get ish done when working from home with my daughter, is to get creative. Oh my goodness, I cannot emphasize how amazing Pinterest is for helping me to put together activities that will keep my daughter engaged, ensure that she's learning, and keep her distracted at the same time. So I personally like to set up a couple of playstations with different toys that will help to enhance various areas of learning. I'm also not averse to a little bit of screen time. Desperate times call for desperate measures, but I am very intentional about the type of TV that my daughter will watch. And then on a daily basis, I will also try to create a new activity that my daughter has never done. And that's pretty much it, guys. Being creative, establishing a routine, and also bulk cooking. If you have found this video to be helpful at all, please let me know. Let me know some of your work from home hacks if you've been doing this for a while. And do let me know if this video was helpful at all. Sending you all lots and lots of love, and speak soon. Bye.